Before I begin this video, I want to dedicate it to the biggest Mario Kart 64 fan I know, my English teacher. If you're watching this, hopefully I don't tear into your favorite Mario Kart too much. Hey guys, it's Tricky Nick here. Super Mario Kart existed alright, but it was time for a change. The Nintendo 64 was Nintendo's first console to dive into the realm of 3D, and as such, it was time to take all of their staple franchises into this new and exciting world. Boom! Super Mario 64. Boom! The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. Boom! Donkey Kong 64. And of course, they had to have a boom! Mario Kart. The original somehow managed to garner 8.76 million sales. It was a bestseller despite its ugliness, so it was only natural to make a follow-up. Now, as for how I saw Mario Kart 64 when it came out, I was still -8. In fact, even when I was regular 8, the only time I was able to play this game was when I was getting a haircut at a random place that had an N64. But even still, as a little kid, I didn't understand that this wasn't just big screen Mario Kart DS, and by the time I could understand that it was its own game, my mom was cutting my hair. Thank you, Mom. But as a result of that, Mario Kart 64 almost fully slipped under my radar. This game is easily the Mario Kart game I've played the least. Until now. So today, I'm finally gonna really dive into Mario Kart 64 and see if it brought the franchise into 3D gloriously and is a smash hit, or if the game fell short and I should trash it. Mario Kart 64 originally began development under the name Super Mario Kart R, being created at the same time as Super Mario 64 and The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time. The game was meant to be a launch title, but sadly more work was put into the other games Nintendo was developing. Super Mario Kart R wasn't incredibly different from what we saw in the final release, but there were a couple of key changes. For one, the name was obviously changed to Mario Kart 64. Don't know why they did this with like every N64 game, but I guess it's a fine name. But this prototype also still had the feather in it from Super Mario Kart, which was removed and didn't come back for a very long time. But perhaps the most unfortunate change in my opinion was the removal of Kamek from the game. This rejection was just the first of many though, as Kamek wouldn't be seen again in a Mario Kart game until Mario Kart Tour over 20 years later. It's kind of like how Frankenstein's monster was rejected by humanity. It was truly an injustice for this unique character, but I get why they replaced him with Donkey Kong. Nintendo wanted to use Donkey Kong because he's relevant as well as a staple part of the Mario franchise. But sadly, it was at the expense of poor Kamek's slot in the roster. The graphical jump from Super Mario Kart to Mario Kart 64 was a massive one. This was mainly because it was a jump from 2D to 3D, but regardless, it was a much needed evolution for the series. When not comparing these graphics to Super Mario Kart though, they hold up somewhat, but they're not great. I mean, they work, but just about as well as a legally blind person telling you it's very blue outside today. Just kidding, it's not actually that bad, but there are some major limitations. The game is very blocky, and the character sprites are 2D due to limitations of the N64. I guess we'll just ignore the fact that Diddy Kong Racing had 3D character models. But overall, despite its shortcomings and hardware limitations, Mario Kart 64 manages to look about as good as you can hope from the N64. It's definitely not the best looking game in the Mario Kart franchise, but it gets the job done a lot better than whatever this mess is. Now this is a Mario Kart roster. While it still only has 8 characters in it, the roster of Mario Kart 64 manages to be miles better than Super Mario Kart's. We've got Mario, Luigi, Peach, Toad, Yoshi, Donkey Kong, Wario, and Bowser. All that's really changed with this roster is the addition of Wario instead of Koopa Troopa and Donkey Kong instead of Donkey Kong Jr., but it makes all the difference. Also, when you're in the roster selection, they all blink, which is a funny detail that Nintendo didn't have to add, but went for it anyways. Not super relevant to the roster, but I wanted to mention it at some point in this video, and I found this to be the best spot to. Anyways, if I had to pick 8 characters to have in a Mario Kart game, these would definitely be the core 8 that come to mind. Despite its small size, the Mario Kart 64 roster was able to prioritize quality over quantity to create such a great roster. But within this roster, there are also 3 weight classes. Toad, Peach, and Yoshi are lightweights, Mario and Luigi are medium weights, and Wario, DK, and Bowser are the heavy boys. Here, it's more noticeable than in Super Mario Kart, but it doesn't make any characters too unbalanced. Heavier characters can get a higher top speed with a lower acceleration, average characters can get average speed and acceleration, and then the low weight characters have high acceleration with lower speed. Personally, I like the lightweights the most, as they have the highest acceleration, so whenever I inevitably fall off or hit myself with an item, I can recover much faster. Mario Kart 64 contains a total of 16 race courses and 4 battle courses. A slight decrease from what was in Super Mario Kart, but a major increase in quality. Gone are the days of trudging through brown goo 4 times over. Instead, every track is its own unique experience, and all of them look fun, at least in concept. However, some of the courses are absolutely infuriating to play and don't feel nearly as good as when they were remade. For example, Yoshi Valley is a great course in Mario Kart 8, but in this game, it's absolute torture. The branching paths were a good concept, but in this game, they're so hard to navigate. And do not even think about falling off of this course, because if you do, your entire race is over. It not only takes 10 years to fall down the valley and get picked back up by Lakitu, but if you so much as get sneezed on by another racer during this recovery process, you fall off again. Or take even Choco Mountain, a course I love in Mario Kart DS and 8 Deluxe, absolutely sucks here. There's a portion at the end of the lap atop of a rocky cliff that if you fall off of, you don't get picked up by Lakitu, and instead you must retrace your steps to get all the way back. Even then though, there's no guarantee that you don't fall off again. It's a total race killer once, never mind twice. But apart from the few courses that are like this, the rest are a lot of fun. There is the occasional generic grassy course like Mario Raceway and Royal Raceway within the mix, but even these courses manage to stand out from one another with things like Peach's Castle and large pipe structures. The more unique courses though are even better. Some of my favorites include Calamari Desert, where you drive through a desert with trains intercepting your path, and you can even take the train tracks as a shortcut. It's so cool. Toad's Turnpike, a course that for some reason is better in this game than Mario Kart 8, and Banshee Boardwalk, a spooky course that takes place on the docks. It's super underrated and hasn't come back in a while. Then of course there's the obligatory Bowser's Castle on Rainbow Road, and it's no surprise that one of these is on the cover of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. While not as graphically impressive as their future renditions, the actual design of these courses is amazing. Bowser's Castle really makes you feel like you're exploring Bowser's Castle. And Marty the Green Thwomp even makes an appearance. And while many people complain about the Rainbow Road in this game being too long, I think it's a great finish to the game that allows you to really cherish the experience you just had in a fantastic finale. Not easy on the eyes though. Overall, while not a huge number of courses appeared in Mario Kart 64, most were good. But when they weren't, they really weren't. Whether or not a given course was good though, you can always be sure that the music is still catchy in this game. There are some songs that don't live up to the catchiness of some of Super Mario Kart songs, but most of them are better. My personal favorites are Moo Moo Farm, Choco Mountain, Bowser's Castle, and Rainbow Road. Then in the voice acting department, it isn't the same as what we know now, especially with Yoshi and Donkey Kong, but I think it makes it funnier and more enjoyable. When it comes to gameplay, Mario Kart 64 is a mixed bag. It did some things right and some things wrong. Let's start with what it did right. The items introduced in this game are great and well balanced. The game added the fake item box, the golden mushroom, the triple red shell, green shell, and mushrooms, the banana bunch, which contained 5 bananas rather than 3, and the biggest friendship destroyer known to man, the blue shell. All of these items would become staples of the franchise, except for the banana bunch, which lost 2 of its friends, but close enough. But the real highlights here were the fake item box and the blue shell. The fake item box is so hard to distinguish in this game that it actually makes it fun and viable to use, unlike in future entries. And then the blue shell. Well, let's just say I've got some restraining orders on my so-called friends. Sadly though, there were also some items that got removed. Mario Kart 64 did away with the coin and feather from Super Mario Kart. Oh no, so sad. Anyways, there's also the improved battle mode. It's still locked to local multiplayer, but it's much more worth actually breaking out some controllers and playing compared to in Super Mario Kart. This battle mode is fantastic, but as I said before, there are also some problems with the gameplay. The main issue is the controls. Some of the physics of the game feel weird, like using mushrooms and holding items. They feel really wonky. But the biggest issue I came across is spinning out. If you drift too hard, you spin out. If you touch the wrong angle of the wrong polygon, you spin out. If you go too fast after getting picked up by Lakitu, you spin out. If you look at the game the wrong way, guess what? You spin out. What makes this even more problematic is that you have little to no invincibility frames when you spin out, so you can just get berated over and over by items. Unless an item decides to miss, even if it's supposed to track a player like some of the red shells do. This game is definitely where the term getting Mario Karted was born, because it is absolute chaos. Also, while not the biggest issue, the rubber banding is a little too intense. Don't see what I mean? Look at this huge shortcut I take in Yoshi Valley, and then I make one little mistake and boom, I lost my lead fully. It certainly does make the races feel more intense, but I think there's a happy medium that can be found, and this was not it. Although this was only the second Mario Kart game in the franchise, so I can give it a little leeway there. But all in all, the chaotic gameplay is pretty much exactly what you think of when you imagine Mario Kart. It's the generic drive around the track thrice and hope your placement's nice that we've all come to know and love. It has its issues, sure, but overall is still great fun. Like Super Mario Kart, Mario Kart 64 offers almost all of its content right when you boot up the game. In Super Mario Kart, I saw this as an issue, but here I don't mind it. The main reason for this is that the game doesn't feel monotonous after one playthrough as Super Mario Kart did. This game came out in the multiplayer renaissance of the 90s, so being able to just boot it up with friends and play anything you want is nice. Also, being able to play with others in multiple different modes made for a good variety of gameplay. There's even the ability to unlock mirrored versions of all the tracks if you get gold on all the 150cc Grand Prix. So even still, there is unlockable content here. While most of the content of Mario Kart 64 is immediately given to the player from the start, there's a lot to it with great replay value, so it doesn't feel as bad as in Super Mario Kart. Before I come to my decision about what to rate this game, let's recap. Mario Kart 64 brought the Mario Kart franchise into 3D for the first time ever, and established Mario Kart as we know it today. The game is filled with charming little unnecessary details that I love, like Mario greeting you on the title screen, and being able to drive over to Peach's castle on Royal Raceway. There's just tons of little additions like this that were so unnecessary but so welcome. The roster is small, but still manages to improve upon Super Mario Kart's in a big way. Similar to the roster, the amount of courses is also small, and while most are amazing, there are a few frustrating ones in the mix. There are also some issues with the gameplay, like the janky controls and insane rubber banding, but overall, Mario Kart 64 is exactly what you expect when you hear the name Mario Kart. So, what's the verdict? I'm going to give Mario Kart 64 the very specific rating of Silver Smash Hit. It has a lot going for it, and really surprised me with how good it was. However, there are aspects of the game that have aged really poorly that bring it down ever so slightly as to give it the Silver Smash Hit award rather than the regular one. As someone who had hardly played this game up to this point, I'd still recommend trying it despite its flaws, because it can be a lot of fun. The next game in the Mario Kart series, though, would not only be a return to Mode 7 graphics, but the first portable Mario Kart. Sadly for me though, it's not Virtual Boy Mario Kart. One can only dream. Anyways, what do you think of Mario Kart 64? Let me know in the comments below, and pray I don't fail English for criticizing this game. See ya!